What is the structure of an investment fund? How are they built and put together? How is 99% of private capital in the world raised? Let's answer this question in 2 minutes or less. My name is Pennington. I currently run 2 8-figure investment funds. We've helped over 300 people launch their funds through Fund Launch. So let's dive down to the iPad here. Down to the board, we have the Fund Launch formula. I'm going to zoom in on this structure right here. Like I said earlier, 99% of private capital in the world is raised through this little structure right here. And what we got here, as you can see, we have what we call the general partner limited partnership structure. This is how this runs. You have a general partner over here. This is, the fund managers, me and you. Fund managers, this is the team. This is kind of where they sit on this side of things. The limited partnership, or the fund, or the pool of money that investors are putting money into. This is what's called the fund here. And then we have limited partners or investors that put money into the fund. So again, how this would function: limited partners or investors put money into the fund, the limited partnership. Fund managers over here come and they draw from that pool and they go and make investments. Okay. Those investments make money. Whenever the investments make money, the money flows back to limited partnership and gets split between the limited partners and the general partners or the fund managers on a split. And that's what's called a waterfall structure. We have other videos that talk about that. That's kind of how a fund structure works. Now, in these waterfalls, you have performance fees. So when the fund performs, they get paid. A lot of times it's a 20% of the performance gets paid to the general partner. And then we have management fees. A lot of times it's a 2% management fee. Again, the waterfall video will tell you more about that. That's paid a lot of times to a different entity called the management company or management entity over here. This is all governed by 2 documents called the LPA and the PPM. These documents we refer to lovingly as the Bible, okay? They're called the Bible because, number one, they're thick. These are huge legal documents. Oftentimes, these are $20,000 to $30,000 at minimum to build. A lot of times they can be more than that. Furthermore, you get to write the Bible for your fund. These are all the covenants, the documents, the rules, the regulations of this fund. Kind of like the Bible, how the Bible, is the rules of a religion. This is the rules and regulations for your fund. Now, the cool thing about funds, you get to write the Bible, meaning you get to write the LPA, the PPM, and how your fund is going to run. Like I said before, 20% management fee, performance fees, great. Or you could write it in your document, say, we're going to do 15%. We're going to do 35%. You get to write that down. Minimum commitment from our investors is $100,000. Or you could write it in your documents and say it's going to be $250,000. You could put it in there, it's going to be $10,000. Again, it doesn't matter. You get to write the Bible. That's one of the coolest things about the fund. Can my fund trade crypto and buy real estate and build some apartments? Sure. You just write it in your Bible. Now, I don't know if you want to do that, but you could do it. You just write it down in your Bible. Yes, there are rules from the SEC to play in, but inside of those rules, there's a lot of leeway you can put in your documents. So again, the structure, you have a general partner, management company. These are the fund managers over here. You guys own this as your team. And then the team over here sets up a limited partnership, which is the fund. This is where the money flows in. The limited partners or investors put money into the limited partnership. And then general partners draw from that and go and make investments from here, all governed by the LPA and PPM, or what we lovingly call the Bible.